We got interrupted at the end of the last session, so I'm going to continue off where pretty much we left off, and we are talking about killing mosquitoes over here on Shabbat. Is that allowed or not? We sort of brushed into it, but let's go back into it. Kuv Mem, friends. Okay, remember this is all Lilu Nishmat Rabbi Diodi's wife and his two daughters. Mutar lomar lenochrit larog yetushim hamafriim ed menuchat achola. החולה. אבל לצורך בריאה אין להקל בזה. אלא אם כן הם מצערים אותו ביותר שאז מותר להרגם בשבת על ידי נוכרי. Okay. If there are mosquitoes that are disturbing a sick person and preventing him from resting, one may instruct a non-Jew to swat the mosquitoes. This is not permitted for the sake of a healthy person unless the mosquitoes are causing him to generally suffer over here. Now, halacha Kuf Mem Aleph over here. We're talking about turning on a heater. בימי הקור, שיש צורך להפעיל את תנור חימום לצורך חולה שאין בו סכנה, או בימות החמה שיש לצורך להדליק מזגן לצורך החולה, מותר לעשות זאת על ידי נוכרי. Okay, what's going on here? If it's cold, let's say hypothetically, it's permissible to instruct a non-Jew to turn on a heater for the sake of someone moderately ill. Likewise, one may instruct him to turn on an air conditioner when it's very hot, naturally, also. Okay, halacha kuf membet. Caring for a new mother. Yoledet mishiv'a yamim ad lamed yom dina k'chole she'en bo sakana. ואם אמרה צריכה אני מותר לעשות עבורה את כל צריכה בשבת על ידי גוי, המלאכות אסורות מן התורה. Okay, a woman who has given birth has the status of someone moderately ill from the 7th day after the birth until the 30th day. During this period, if she claims that she needs an act of melacha, even one forbidden to us by the Torah, to be performed for her comfort on Shabbat, it's allowed to instruct the non-Jew to perform it for her over here. Now, driving to a drugstore on Shabbat. מותר לומר לנוכרית לנסוע במכונית כדי לקנות תרופות בשביל חולה שאין בו סכנה. It's allowed to instruct the non-Jew to drive to a drugstore on Shabbat and purchase medicine for someone who is moderately ill. Kuv Mem Dalet. אמנן חולה שאינו צריך לרפואה בשבת, אסור לומר לנוכרי שיעשה להביא לו את התרופה, אלא אם כן יצטרך לתרופה מיד עם צאת השבת. Okay, what's going on here? Nevertheless, if the patient does not need the medicine that very specific day, it's then forbidden to instruct the non-Jew to drive and get it. This will be permitted if the patient needs the medicine immediately after Shabbat is over here. Okay. Bringing relatives to see someone ill. Is that going to be allowed? יש אומרים, שם חולה מסוכן מבקש יקראו לקרובה בשבת, מותר להם לנסוע עם נהג נוכרי, כדי שלא תתרב על דעתו. ויש חולקים, במקל יש על מי שיסמוך. Okay, what's going on here, friends? Some poskim ruled that if a desperately ill patient asks for his relatives to be brought to his presence on Shabbat, those relatives may have a non-Jew drive them over to the patient for fear that otherwise the patient will become agitated and his life further endangered over here. So those are the rulings in regards to that. Benefiting from melacha performed by a non-Jew on Shabbat. Can you benefit or not? Let's learn the laws. Isur hana'a memelechet goy. Okay. Halacha kuv membab. Yisrael shama le'eno yudi לעשות לו מלאכה בשבת. אסור לו ליהנות מאותו המלאכה בשבת. אך מותר ליהנות מאותו מלאכה במוצאי שבת, אחר שיעבור זמן שיספיק לעשות אותו מלאכה אחר, אחר צאת השבת. וגם אם אינו יהודי עשה מלאכה מעצמו לצורך ישראל, אסור לישראל ליהנות מאותו מלאכה בשבת, אף שלא הציבהו לכך. וגם בזה צריך להמתין בערב שבת כדי שיעשו. ואם הגוי ידליק לצורך עצמו, מותר לישראל ליהנות מאור זה בשבת. Okay, what's going on here, friends, over here? Halacha 146. If a Jew instructs a non-Jew to perform a forbidden act of halacha on Shabbat itself, he may receive no benefit from that act on Shabbat. The same applies even if no one instructed the non-Jew to perform this act, and he performed it on his own, for the Jew's benefit. In either case, after Shabbat is over, the Jew must wait the amount of time that it would take to perform that melacha, and only then may he benefit from the act of the non-Jew. If a non-Jew lit a lamp over here on Shabbat for his own use, then a Jew may benefit from the light of the lamp itself, respectively. Okay, friends, we're on 147. Kuf Mem Zayin, naturally. Okay, here. Okay. ולפיכך, גוי שהדליק את האור בחדר בשביל ישראל, אפילו שלא על פי ציווי ישראל, אסור לקרוא לאור מנורה זו, אלא אם כן קבע היה אור בחדר, והגוי גרם רק לתוספת אורה. If you got an non-Jew over here, he turned on a lamp on behalf of a Jew on Shabbat. The Jew may not read by that light, even if no one had instructed the non-Jew to turn it on. If there already was a light burning in that room by which it is possible to read, and the non-Jew turned on an additional lamp to make it brighter, one may read by its light. Guys, I'm okay. So we're in Halacha Kuf Memchet. Just watch this space for 1 minute. I'm coming back. Just taking a short break, just for a half a minute, and I'll be back. So stay tuned. I'm just coming back in half a minute. Okay, everyone, sorry about that. Thanks for holding on. We're going to continue. Okay, we're on Halacha Kuf Memchet over here of the Yalkut Yosef. Shabbat laws we're learning. Please don't forget to smash the subscribe button and the like button also within regards to the videos. And remember this Lilu Nishmat, Rabbi Leo D's wife and his 2 daughters, Zichrono Libracha. So, yeah, we are just going to continue over here. We are on Halacha Kuf Mem Chet currently. Okay, friends, absolutely amazing stuff, and let's continue. Okay, so just got this underway. Okay, friends, Kuf Mem Chet. נוכרי שהדליק את האור בחדר המדרגות לצורך ישראל. מותר לישראל לעלות במדרגות, ואין צריך להמתין עד שיכבה האור. שבלאו יכול לעלות ואף אם הדליק על ידי ישראל, מחלל שבת מותר לעלות במדרגות, אך לא ימהר בהלכתו. Okay, friends, what's going on over here? If a non-Jew turned on the light illuminating the stairwell of a building to enable a Jew to climb the stairs, the Jew may climb the stairs while the light is on. He does not have to wait until the light goes out, since it's possible to climb the stairs even in the dark. Actually, even if a non-observant Jew turned on the light, it's allowed to climb the stairs, but he should not hurry up the steps any faster than he would have in the dark over here. That's laws within regards to that. So I'm just going to say a blessing over here within regards to the thing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol niyeh b'dvaro. Nothing like a green tea in the morning. And to keep energized. Friends, we're on Kuf Mem Tet here. We are about a week away till Pesach, the festival of Passover over here. מותר להשתמש בשבת באור החשמל הבא המחברת חשמל, שעובדים בה הם אינם יהודים, אף ביאור שרוב תושביה יהודים. Okay. It's allowed to benefit on Shabbat from electricity produced by a company whose employees are non-Jews, even in a city populated mainly by Jews over here. Halacha 150 over here, Kuf Nun. Repairing lights in restaurants. Is this going to be allowed, friends? מסעדת ציבוריות או בית מלון שהמלצרים שם הם נוכרים ואירע שנפסק חשמל בשבת והנוכרי תיקן החשמל אם גם המלצרים אוכלים שם בעצמם והם גם נהנים מהדלקת החשמל מותר ליהנות מהחשמל שהודלק. Okay, what's going on here? If people arrange to eat on Shabbat in a restaurant or hotel that has hired non-Jewish waiters over here, and the electricity went off, and one of the waiters turned it back on, the Jewish guests may benefit from the light if the waiters themselves eat their meals by the same lights. Then they can actually benefit as being a side benefit, let's just say over here. Okay, halacha 151, kuf nun aleph. Nochri, shadlik, or b'shabbat l'tzorech chole, yudi. שאין בו סכנה, מותר להבריא, לקרוא לאור זה. ואפילו אם הוא מכירו, אין לכו שמא ירבה בשבילו. דנר לאחד נר למאה. ואין חילוק בזה אם הגוי הדליק הנר בבית ישראל או בביתו. Okay, what's going on here in Kuf Nun Aleph? If a non-Jew lit a lamp on Shabbat for the sake of a Jew who is moderately ill, it's allowed for a healthy Jew to read by the light as well. Even if the non-Jew is a friend of the healthy Jew, it does not matter, since the same lamp that provides light for one person can provide light for many people. Over here, there's a parenthesis note over here. It makes no difference, however, whether this lamp in the Jew's home or it's of the non-Jewish home over here. Okay, halacha 152, friends. Kuf nun bet. נוכרי שהדליקתנו חימום בשבת לצורך עצמו, מותר להסתער להיכנס ולשרות בהדר. וכן, אם הדליק את התנור לצורך חולה שאין בו סכנה, מותר גם להבריא, ליהנות מהחום שבחדר, ואפילו הוא מכירו. Okay, if a non-Jew turned on a room heater for his own benefit on Shabbat, it's allowed for a Jew to enter the room and enjoy the heat. This is another example of the concept mentioned in the Bab Halacha, that the same heater will heat the room for one occupant or for any number of occupants. Likewise, let's say if a non-Jew over here turned on a heater for the sake of a Jew who is moderately ill, a healthy Jew may remain in the room and enjoy the heat, even if he is a friend of that non-Jew over here. Okay, friends, we're now in Halacha Kuf Nun Gimel over here. Heating system for entire apartment building. What's the din over here? Nochri shafil. את הסקה המרכזית של בית המשותף. אין צריך לזכור את ברז הסקה כדי שלא ליהנות מחום ההסקה. בלבד שיעשה כן לצורך עצמו, או לצורך רוב הדיירים שהם נוכרים. אבל אם עשה כן לצורך ישראל, אם אין הכל גדול ראוי להחמיר לזכור את ברז הסקה, או לפחות חלון בחדר, כדי שלא ייהנה ממעשה הנוכרי שיעשה עבורו. ואם הכל גדול, מותר אף לומר לגוי לידיעה שידליק את ההסקה, וכן בהצעות עקרות מאוד מותר לומר לגוי שידליק את ההסקה לצורך קטנים וחולים, או לעשות מדורה, ואז מותר גם לגדולים ליהנות מהחום. ואם הכל גדול, אפילו בשביל הגדולים מותר, שהכל חולים אצל הכל. Okay, so friends, when Halacha Kuf Nun Gimel, that's 153. If a non-Jewish person turned on the central heating system in an apartment building for his own benefit over here, or if most of the tenants in the building are non-Jews, a Jewish tenant may benefit from the heat as well, and it is not necessary to shut the valves and prevent the heat from entering the radiators in his apartment. If the non-Jew turned on the heat for the benefit of the Jews, however, and it is not terribly cold outside, it is proper to shut the valves. Alternatively, one may open the window so that one does not benefit from the heat that the non-Jewish person has provided over here. If it's really cold, however, and there is a danger of hypothermia for little children or for people who are moderately ill over here, then it's allowed to instruct the non-Jew to turn on the heating system on Shabbat respectively. Once the heat is on, healthy adults may also enjoy the heat in the house. If the temperatures over here are freezing, let's say, then it's permissible to instruct the non-Jew to turn on the heat even for the sake of healthy adults, for in such conditions anyone is suspected, well, to danger of hypothermia over here. There's that issue potentially. Okay, friends, in Halacha 154, Kuf Nun Daled, friends, over here. בימים בזמן שהשרב כבד והחום היום לוהט והוא מצטער החום, מותר לומר לנוכרי להדליק בשבת את המזגן או את המאוורר לצורך מי שסובל מהחום, וכל שכן לצורך חולים או קטנים, ובזה מותר אב לבריאים ליהנות מהקירות של המזגן. ואף אם אין החום גדול כל כך, יש להיתר כשיש שם תינוקות קטנים, ומכל שכן כשאינו אומר לגוי בפירוש אלא על ידי רמז תשפלי דמה, ואף שיש שם מנורה בקר, מותר לומר לגוי להדליק את המזגן, שהדלקת המנורה היא בגדר פסיק רשע, שאין כוונתו למנורה, ופסיק להישאר על ידי גוי מותר. Okay. Kuf Nun Dalet, friends. What's going on? 154. Okay. When the summer heat is unbearable, it's allowed to instruct a non-Jew to turn on an air conditioner or fan to bring relief to those who are suffering from it. This is so especially for the sake of small children or those who are ill. Once the air conditioner is on, the healthy adults may also enjoy the air conditioning. For the sake of very young infants, it's allowed to instruct the non-Jew to turn on the air conditioner even if it's not unbearably hot. It is certainly allowed if one refrains from telling the non-Jew directly to turn it on and only hints it to him to do so. In those cases when it's allowed to instruct the non-Jew to turn on an air conditioner, it may be done even if there is an indicator light that shines when the machine is on. The non-Jew has no intention of turning on the light, and therefore it's allowed, even though it's a case of psik over here. Okay, friends, we are now in Kuf Nun Chet over here. אם אחר כמה שעות נשתנה מזג האוויר והמיזוג יכול לגרום חולי ליושבים בבית, מותר לומר לנוכרי להפסיקו. Okay, after the air conditioner had been turned on, if the weather changes and it becomes so cold in a house that people may become ill, one may instruct the non-Jew to turn it off over here. Boiling water for Jews. What's it in over here? Nochri שהרתיח מים בשבת לצורך ישראל והכין לו תה או קפה, אסור לישראל לשתות תה, זה בשבת, ואסור לכל ישראל, אפילו למי שלא הכין בשבילו, או מי שאין הגוי מכירו, וכל שכן אם ציווה את הגוי להדליק האש ולחמם לו מים לכוס תה, שאסור לשתות את התה עד למוצאי שבת בכדי שיעשו. If a non-Jew boiled water to prepare tea or coffee for a Jew, no Jew may drink that tea or coffee on Shabbat, whether he is the person for whom it was prepared, or if he is someone else whom the non-Jew does not know at all. This is certainly the case if a Jew instructed the non-Jew to cook the water for him. In either case, no Jew may drink the tea or coffee that the non-Jew prepared on Shabbat until he waits after Shabbat, as long as it would take to prepare the drink. Over here. Cook food for Jews. What's it in? Over here. נוכרי שבישל לצורך ישראל בשבת, בדבר שאין בו משום בישול גויים. אפילו אם עשה כן מעצמו, אסור לישראל לאכול מתבשיל זה עד מוצאי שבת בכדי שיעשו. ואף אם התבשיל היה מבושל כל צרכו מערב שבת. אם אמר לגוי להדליק אש ולחמם את התבשיל, או להחסיר על אש גלויה, או להטמין באיסור, אסור לאכול מהתבשיל בשבת עד לערב בכדי שיעשו. אבל מותר לומר לגוי לחמם תבשיל שנתבשל כל צרכו על גבי פלטה חשמלית הדלוקה מבעוד יום. אף בתבשיל שרובו לך, שמאחר שיש מצילים כן, בישראל על ידי עקום, שהרי לכתחילה. So friends, what's going on here? Halacha Kuf Nun Zayin. 157. If a non-Jew cooked food for a Jew on Shabbat, whether he was instructed to do so, or he did it on his own over here, no Jewish person may eat that food until Shabbat is over, and he waits as long as it would take to cook that food naturally. Cook that food. Even then, only those foods that are not restricted by the prohibition of Bishul Akum may be eaten. If someone instructed a non-Jew to light a fire on Shabbat and reheat a food that had been cooked before Shabbat began, it is forbidden to eat that food until Shabbat is over, and one waits as long as it would take to heat the food. The same rule applies if one instructed a non-Jew to place a pot of cooked food on an uncovered fire, this hazara, or to smother it with an insulating material, hatmana naturally, on Shabbat. It's allowed to instruct the non-Jew to place a cooked food on an electric warming tray that was turned on before Shabbat began. This is allowed even if the food is liquid or if it is a soup, since our poskim ruled that even a Jew may reheat a soup that was completely cooked before, which we learned in the Halacha in 64 over here. Okay, a few more short halachot over here. 158. Kuf Nun Chet. אסור לומר לגוי שיצחצח עבורו את מנעליו בשבת. אם הנוכרי יצחצח בשבת את המנעליים לצורך ישראל, מותר לנעול בשבת שהרי בלאו הכי היה יכול לנעולן גם בלי הצחצוח. It's forbidden to instruct the non-Jew to shine one's shoes on Shabbat. If a non-Jew did polish a Jew's shoes on Shabbat, he may wear them that very day. this is not considered benefiting from the non-Jew's act of forbidden melacha, since he could have worn them even if they had not been polished over here. Now, friends, we're on halacha kuf nun tet. Okay. Wearing shoes that were repaired on Shabbat. Can you do that? Im meser et na'alav l'tikun etzel tzandla nochri mer Shabbat b'katzatz imudamim v'nochri tiknam bebeito shel eno yudi v'bi'am lo b'Shabbat mutar lenola de hanochri adatei nafshei ka'abid ach l'ashkenazim anoagim karama לכתחילה יש להחמיא שלא נלעולן עד מוצאי שבת בכדי שיעשו. אם לא, שצריך להם. If someone brought his shoes to a shoemaker for repairs on Shabbat, on Friday, and the shoemaker delivered the repaired shoes to the Jew on Shabbat, he may wear them that very day. This is so only if they had agreed that the shoemaker would be paid on the basis of kablanut, that he would be paid a flat sum for the job regardless of how long it would take him. Furthermore, the work must be performed in the shoemaker's premises and not in the Jew's home. Ashkenazic Jews follow the ruling of the Rama that, unless there is a great need for them, the Jew should not wear the shoes until Shabbat is over, and he waits as long as it would take for the job to be done over there. That's what we would say. Okay. Tearing open an envelope. Is that allowed on Shabbat? Mutar likra liftoach egeret segura b'Shabbat al yedei goy. Over here. It's allowed to instruct a non-Jew to open a sealed envelope that arrived in the mail on Shabbat, but we have to look at end of halacha 60 back to there to so a bit of homework for you guys to do to watch over the previous shiurim. We're going to go on to the next topic of muktzah over here. I'll just read the introduction. I don't know if we've got the time now to actually start the halachot itself, but let's look at it. There are several categories of items that are muktzah on Shabbat, and different halachot pertaining to each. Okay, so let's look into what these are over here. This is reading the second edition of the Yalkut Yosef over here. Excellent book over here, Hebrew and English edition. Kli shemlechto la isur. Okay, it's a tool or utensil that is normally used in a manner that's forbidden on Shabbat, such as a hammer, sharpener. The sages permitted us to handle these items if we need to use them for an act that's permitted on Shabbat. Specifically talking. Then there's something called muktzeh machmat kisron kis. That's an item used for purpose forbidden on Shabbat, but which would never be used for anything other than that one specific use, since any other use may ruin it potentially, like a knife or a kosher slaughter knife or camera. Okay, then there's kli shemlechto laheter, an item normally used for purposes permitted on Shabbat, like a table, chair, forks, all that. It's forbidden to carry around these items if one has no purpose for them. Okay, then there's muktzeh machmot gofo, an item that is not meant for any use at all. This category includes anything that is not a tool or utensil, nor it is edible for people or livestock over here. And there's muktzeh machmat me'us, an item regarded as filth, let's say, like garbage, all those kind of things. Our sages allowed us to remove these things from our homes so as to maintain the dignity of the household over here. Okay. Then there's also, there's more, by the way, all these terminologies, we're going to learn more into them. I'm just giving a very short synopsis of it. Then there's basis ledavar ha'asu, an item that in and of itself would not be muktzah, but another item that is muktzah was placed on it. For example, someone placed money on top of a pillow before Shabbat and left it there. Okay, so the pillow will become muktzah. Then there's muktzah machmat mitzvah, items that were designated for use for the mitzvah, such as lulav, schach, wall panels of a sukkah itself with decorations, and we're going to learn more about this naturally as we go on. So we're in the Yalkut Yosef. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We're going to continue on Siman 308 next time. Lilu Nishmat, Rabbi Leo D's wife and his two daughters. Wishing you a good day. Please don't forget to smash the like button on the videos. Don't forget to smash the subscribe button and join the channel over here. We've got coming close to 3,000 members over here, learning fantastic halacha, Yalkut Yosef, second edition. Wishing you all a good day.